Harumafuji, formerly known as Ama, was the sport of sumo's 70th Yokozuna. He rose to prominence alongside fellow Mongolian Hakuho, the Dai Yokozuna of the era, and one of the greatest rikishi of all time. What makes his entire career so impressive is that he was often the smallest wrestler in the top division. At his heaviest, he was only about 302 pounds. While this is large for the average person, Hakuho himself was around 342, and 330 pounds is the average among all rikishi in the modern era. I have a place in my heart for lighter combat athletes who find ways to compete and win among their fellow giants. I have a video on Harumafuji and an article on Enho, two of the smallest wrestlers competing today. In a contest devoid of weight divisions, seeing how the more diminutive rikishi find success is ever the interesting study. Even though sumo is unique among the grappling arts, the same principles tend to apply across them all. For the smaller man, keep moving and take out their base. While prescient, this is not what I want to focus on. Let's first find out what made Hakuho such a difficult matchup for Harumafuji. Hakuho is a chameleon. He is incredibly versatile and defensively sound. He certainly has preferred positions, but he seems to be able to win from just about anywhere in the dohyo. Hakuho's adaptability expressed itself in a protracted bout. The longer it went, especially against Harumafuji, the more likely he was going to win. Why? When assessing other combat sports, such as boxing and MMA, aerobic capacity is perhaps the most important attribute to develop. How often have you heard road work be referenced in boxing circles? There's a reason for that. A full-length fight is minimum 15 minutes in MMA, 24 in boxing. Sumo bouts, on the other hand, are often less than 20 seconds. It is a complete exertion of anaerobic capacity. The smaller man usually has better cardiovascular capabilities, which is to their advantage in a more aerobically taxing martial art. The nature of sumo is so heavily weighted towards strength, however, that bouts will rarely reach aerobic exertion for Harumafuji to take advantage of this. The smaller man needs to work harder to stay competitive in a grappling exchange. There are times when two rikishi are locked up and seem to be doing nothing. Though they might need a breath, they are often making very tiny adjustments, looking for the perfect moment to push, throw, trip, or grip. A long, stalled clinch is largely predicated upon pure strength, especially when both men are rooted to the ground, two oak trees fighting for light. Both men are tense, looking for the moment they feel the advantage swing their way. The longer they work, the more likely it is that the larger, stronger wrestler will take over. Harumafuji, as the smaller, weaker man, must maximize his strength threshold just to stay competitive with Hakuho in the clinch. He will tire more quickly due to his increased exertion. Hakuho does not need to push himself to the limit in order to maintain an advantage. He can simply use enough force to keep Harumafuji at bay until he feels him fade. The longer of Harumafuji's bouts with Hakuho often went the way of the larger man for this reason. If you'd like to find out one special weapon Harumafuji used to even the odds in this matchup, check out my latest article at the link below. Just one thing completely changes the dynamic between the two Yokozuna. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an article, and enjoy. Thank you.